everyone! So today we are going to be talking about a very controversial topic which is kind of close to our hearts because this has affected our childhood, and also this is the very reason why I have developed eating disorder, because of the casual or everyday fat shaming here in the Philippines. It has become like a normal thing now that it's scary. Also, just a little disclaimer, let me just say that not all Filipinos fat shame one another. Some Filipinos do this, and also I don't blame them as well, just because, as I've said, this has been a normal thing. So unknowingly, some people doesn't even realize that what they're doing is actually bullying or fat shaming, because it's kind of like a normal, casual thing that people say to each other. And the purpose of this video is not to rage war against one another, because it's not the main point of this video. All we want in this video is to basically just raise an awareness that these things, this casual fat shaming comments, is not normal at all. But it's kind of like in a way of saying like we can stop this and we can make a change, that this, you know, kind of behavior should not be passed down into the next generation, especially the young ones. Also, this is a way to encourage a conversation, a way of saying hey, let's talk about this. Are you guys okay with this casual everyday fat shaming, or are you all okay when you get fat shamed in public, or is it okay with you that you get fat shamed online as well, online and offline? Just because, you know, if you think about it, if you're the one who's receiving these comments, how does that make you feel? So in this video that you're about to see, we have elaborated and we have touched on certain areas to where we talk about our personal experience, especially my personal experience when people fat shame me and all the comments that I receive, and also just basing also on the experience of other people that we have witnessed that have been fat shamed. So that is it, and let's get on to the video.
So now we're going to address the everyday fat shaming.
Okay, so the first one is the fat greeting. I have a lot of experience with the whole fat greeting thing. Tell your
Or they
experience
saw you a long time ago, or maybe just even a month ago, and like, hi, don't nagtambok ka, or like, hi, you got fat.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not even hi, how are you?
Yeah.
Or hi, how's your life? No, it's half a greeting, half an insult. Okay, the person who said this to me is older, so out of respect, you're just gonna go, ah ha ha.
Yeah, you laughed it off. You're just like being stabbed on the inside and pretending like you're okay on the outside.
When people say like, oh, you got fat, it could be in like two tones. One is, I've gotten this where it was like, you can tell sometimes in the tone when someone's being secretly malicious.
Yeah.
Nah, it's like, oh, you got fat.
Yeah.
But then another one was, this lady came up to me and she was like, you got fat. But she said it in a way that I didn't take any offense from it, because I could see, like, from the tone of her voice and the way she looked at me, was that it wasn't as a, oh, you got fat. It was more like she was trying to make conversation, and that was literally the only greeting that came up in her mind first. And that just kind of goes to show you how this society has this thing about, oh, you got fat. Like, that's not even a greeting, that's an insult. You're insulting someone.
Yeah.
Immediately. But then some people have already come to the point where they silently just accept it as a greeting. When you say it to someone who's in their puberty years, like how we got it, you know, that is, especially what happened to you, that is like confidence destroying. It's so hard to build up from that.
This is like coming from people who have actually experienced all these things, have heard it all.
More so you than me, but
yeah, I've heard it all. For me, as soon as I hit puberty to where I gained weight, everyone was just like, the comments was like non-stop. And the whole eating disorder and all the body shaming just kept on going. And the blunt fat comments that either you get directly from your friends, like, you know, those questions like, did you gain weight? Like, why did you get fat? Or like, what happened to you? Your face looks big now. You know, have you been like, with the kitchen joke thing, it's like someone just left you on the kitchen.
Oh my gosh, someone said that to you?
Yeah, actually, I had, like, one person said to me way back before when I was like in my younger years. It's an insult. Like, maybe to some of you are like confused, like, what do you mean by you got left in the kitchen? It's like, you got left in the kitchen that you just kept eating and now you're huge. Or they said like, why are you so big? Or like all of those questions.
Or sometimes you think they're concerned for you because they're like, what happened to you? And you think, wait a minute, there's something wrong. And then they grab your arm and then they're like,
I know.
They squeeze it.
Yeah. And also the comment that we got last time when we made a video.
That guy. You.
You're still still watching,
Yeah.
we forgive you though. But like, that's rude.
Yes. He
Being
said we
fat.
have great hair. Thanks.
Yeah.
And then after that he said it was like a backhanded comment and
Yeah. It's not about just the girls, okay? It's usually like we get fat shamed by another girl, but it's also the boys.
Yeah.
And that, you know, when you get a fat shaming kind of comment from a guy, it hurts twice. I know it's from a girl, it's like, it's fine. I'm used to girls being like mean to other girls, but like when guys though say that to you, that you're fat. And I have a lot of instances, like you said, you just one comment on your weight.
Yeah, that was just my one comment on my weight. Because usually I just get it from titas or older women. Men don't really call me like, oh, you gain weight.
With me, I have several instances like with like guys was wondering why I was fat, or like just literally called me like bluntly fat. I got called out to stop eating because I might get fat, or told me to diet because I was fat. Yeah.
Wow.
And also the comparison. They just tell me like, oh, look at your arms, they're bigger than my arms. And I'm like, wow, really? Just because my arms is bigger than your arms? So like, it feels like a woman cannot be bigger than a man. You know, kind of like that thing. Mind you, that all these comments that I got are from my teenage years, to where I was very vulnerable.
Oh wait, don't forget about that part where the guy insulted you with yourself.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That was actually hilarious.
Yeah, the guy insulted me with my own self, okay? So there's this guy who was from high school. I'm not gonna mention your name just in case if you watch this video. But
you know who you are and you know what you did.
yeah, he told me that I look better right now because I am thinner, because way back in high school he said that I was chubby and fat. And I was like, wow, you complimented me right now and insulted me at the same time with my younger self.
Yeah, the vulnerable, like, body changing self.
Yeah. And then he asked for my number. So I said, no. And also, let's, you know, the guy that I told you who insulted his girlfriend in front of all of us. We were eating and he insulted her and he was just like, oh, you should probably stop eating now because look at your stomach, it's getting bigger. If it's said in my language, it's so casual, but if it's translated into English, you would definitely feel the
It feels harsh, yeah. And it doesn't matter the tone, sometimes it sounds concerned, but when you use those words, it still has an effect.
And of course, at the same time, I can see her reaction that she was embarrassed. It was like, of course, if you said that to anybody in front of everybody,
it's like he embarrasses you. It's like he embarrassed her for being hungry.
And also, you're the boyfriend. You're not supposed to do that to your girlfriend, right? Even if we're close friends, but still yet. That's really bad. The school. Like this, I think this covers up the kids, especially during these days. The kid that I've told you before, that in school he was not called for his name. He was just called fat. That's his nickname, and that's the thing that they would call him constantly.
So basically it's like you're not even a person, you're just the fat on your body.
Yeah.
And that was a guy getting fat shamed.
Because usually it's like, you know, people would say like, oh, you girls are so sensitive, but how about a guy? It's like, I know, I understand. Guys do get fat shamed too. It's just a mentality here in our country that if you're not skinny, or if you don't have muscles, beyond those things, you're just fat or flabby. So,
but the thing is, they don't even have an in between. You're either skinny or fat.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just here in the Philippines or it's an Asian thing. Let us know in the comments down below.
Yeah.
Or if that also happens in your country.
Yeah, because here there's an expectation where the girls have to be not just skinny but petite, and being petite means a certain kind of thin.
In the advertisements, they were always gonna pop out a juice or a coffee or something else to be skinny, which I don't have any problems with. It's okay, it's fine, you can try it out, but I just don't like, you know, that commercial that I told you. I don't know if you guys have seen it. If you're from the Philippines, you probably have seen it. It's like, it's a juice. I don't know if it's supposed to be a meal replacement or something, but there's this tita who was insulting her niece during a buffet.
It's like she got like pasta and then rice, and then the tita was like, carb over carbs, don't you even want to get married?
Yeah.
And then basically she fat shamed her at the buffet.
And her niece wasn't even fat at
Yeah.
all. She was skinny. And also it's kind of like saying, if you're young and vulnerable, like, oh my gosh, so I couldn't get married if I'm fat. You know, it kind of implants that kind of thought in young people.
So they're gonna think every time they like a guy, immediately diet, which is like, because like he's not gonna like me if I'm fat, or he's not gonna like me if he thinks I'm fat.
It's kind of like saying, if you want to have the ring on your finger, you have to be skinny. Yeah. Which is not true, but there's a majority of guys too who likes women, you know,
who are curvy.
Who are curvy, and actually likes them for who they are and their personality, and not just their outside appearance. To some people, yes, it does matter, and you know, that's the first attraction, but then it should be more than that.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't marry the person just because of their physical appearance and of their weight. You know, I feel like that's a shallow like reasoning to marry a person. And also, it's like getting comments that you are not skinny enough.
Or like when you lose the weight and then they're like, oh, you're skinny now.
Yep.
And then you're like, wait, last week I was fat?
Okay, fat shaming from family members.
Because you already get all that, you know, subliminal and quiet fat shaming on the outside, but then once it reaches your family life, it feels as though it's reinforced like, oh, I am fat. It's not like, oh, I think I'm fat. Because by the time it reaches your family and then they call you fat and they know you, it feels like, oh yes, that's what I am. Even though it's not.
Yeah.
But you just feel that way.
Yeah, because it affects you even more if your parents call you fat, or if your brother or sister calls you fat, or someone in your family, because they have greater influence in your life. And if someone like that insults you, it kind of is, as what you're saying, it implies that it's true. And they kind of just confirm it. Also, the comparison to like your siblings, the comparison to like that.
Not
like
everyone has siblings, but it could be a cousin or like a friend of yours that you always have over, and then they compare like, why can't you be skinny like her? Or like, oh, they come up to you and say, oh, you know, your sister's prettier than you and you're fat. I've literally had that at one point. This mother of her son. Her son was actually a child, but the thing is, like, it wasn't his fault. It was the adults around him. They asked him, so who do you think is the nicest looking one between me and my sisters?
Yeah.
And then he's like, this, he said, he mentioned the name of one of my sisters.
Yeah.
And then, but the thing is, the lady didn't say this story to the person who won.
Yeah.
She said it to me and my other sister who quote unquote lost. And then we just looked at each other like,
wow.
Yeah, and then at that moment you felt suddenly, it feels like, was I not skinny enough for this kid to pick me? But then at the same time it creates
a competition.
A competition that you didn't ask for.
True, that's true. And also, like I told you, with me and like my sister, like a lot of you know her, like my manang Lore, you know, like a lot of people, she's always been like the skinny one or like the small one, and people would refer to me as like I'm that bigger like sister, you know, and that I should be ashamed because I'm younger than her, and I look bigger, and why can't, like, there's this one person who commented, she's like, why are you fat than your sister? Yeah, and I'm like, when you get those comments sometimes, I'm like, oh my gosh, really? Can't I just like look like this and be in my frame, you know, and to appreciate myself for who I am, versus trying to be like my sister, which she has smaller frame. I can't deal with my frame, people. That's what you guys have to understand. Like, I was built this way.
It's kind of like, you can't shrink your bones. You can't lose weight off your bones.
Yeah. And especially your bone structure.
Yeah.
With me and my sister, we actually have established that we shouldn't, you know, be like we have this tension all the time. That's why, I know this is off topic, but it would be a good thing to create that bond with your sister and not make, even though people comments about you or compares you to the other one, but like talk it with each other, you know, and like encourage one another and not bring each other down, or like affirm what other people are saying to your sister.
Because that's your blood.
Yeah. At the end of the day. Even if they're annoying.
Yeah.
Or, this also happens, I think this happens a lot, and I can see this happening in some of my friends who have influence, or even in celebrities, you know. You would notice that it kind of like implies here that if you are a celebrity, or if you're a person of influence, you can't just gain weight, because if you do, that is the talk of the town. And like, you would get all of those comments in your feed of just like, bakit ka tumaba, or like why are you fat, what happened to you, why did you gain weight, or like you're ugly now because you gained weight and stuff like that. And those kind of comments, if you're going through an eating disorder, just shakes you. It can force you to do something that you don't want to do, and mostly it forces you to be unhealthy because you'll either starve yourself, or to some people, they binge because no matter how much they try, it's kind of just like, well, I'll just give up, I'll just eat more then.
Sometimes it's not even, they didn't even gain weight. As a matter of fact, sometimes they could have even lost weight, but it's the lighting in which the photo was taken.
Or the angles.
Or the angles. It's the angles. And then they're just like, what happened to this person? She let herself go. Or like, wow, she's so fat now. Like, no! It's the lighting. Everybody looks different in a different kind of lighting.
Yeah. The pregnant comments comes in. I'm just like, maybe she's pregnant, and all of those assumptions, you know, that people make. So,
and really, sometimes your body just changes a little bit and you don't notice.
Yeah, and also there are some people who are going through medical conditions such as PCOS, and sometimes it makes your body gain weight without even you trying. It's not even you overeating at all.
Wow.
Fat shaming that happens sometimes when you pick out clothes. Like what happened to me, I was picking out some clothes, and then there's this sales lady who actually told me, she's like, oh ma'am, just, but I kind of like put it down because she said that I couldn't fit that, so she selected another like bigger size, but it was in a different pattern that I didn't really like at all. But her point is that, why am I even looking at that? Like, put that down because you can't fit that. When you have that baby food belly after you eat, which is absolutely, we just said that is normal.
It's normal, yeah.
When
it's
you have
normal
a food baby.
Yeah. It's normal for your stomach to expand after you eat.
Yeah. When you have a food baby, because everybody has that. Okay, no one has a flat stomach after they've eaten a huge meal or anything.
Yeah.
Okay, this one I think is gonna hit home for everybody because everybody's Facebook post, it's like, pang braso mo. Okay, the fat shaming of the big, what's this? Arms,
the
biceps.
arms,
yeah, the biceps, and then the big like legs and thighs. Here in the Philippines, when you have big thighs and legs, no, okay, probably not in the whole country, but like especially from where we live, people here are so concerned if you have like bigger legs or bigger thighs. Kind of like they said, like you have big thighs and big, like, you know, legs. It's kind of like equivalent to having man legs. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like that guy who said like, your arms are bigger than mine.
Yeah, kind of things. Also the face fat shaming. You know, if your face is not like this skinny, like people are gonna mention it.
Yeah.
You know?
Or sometimes your face is just round.
Yeah, that's
like,
how you were made. You know.
Yeah. And then you can't help the know of your face, and then people say that you gain weight, but your entire body is skinny.
If you're made that way, you know, if you naturally have that face shape, then just embrace it. Okay, I have to insert this because last time we forgot to add this, but sometimes there are other people that they insult other people. When they hear, you know, when you start working out and stuff like that, they would kind of try to discourage you, or they would say, like, oh, you actually tried working out? Oh, just stop working out because it's really in your genes that you're big, or like there's really no hope for you. And you know what? These are also the same people who are actually telling you to go on a diet or go exercise or go run. And when you do diet and when you do go to the gym, these people kind of brings you down. And also another one, I would hear people say like, oh, she's pretty but then she's fat. And that is actually the comment that I mostly hear other people say to other girls. That comment always aggravates me, and when I hear other people say that to other girls, I would actually say like, why do you always have to mention the weight part, you know? Because her beauty is not defined by her weight. Why can't she just be beautiful, period? Why can't a woman just be beautiful because she is? And also, let me include this because I know that there's a bunch of people, like what you said, to what happened to, you know, the person that we know, that he on purposely insulted this person so that she can lose weight. And that's not a good thing. If you really want to encourage someone, you know, to lose weight, if you are ever concerned of their health, because that's the thing that I always say. Yeah, they always say like, oh, I'm just doing that because I'm concerned with this person's health. But there's a proper way of saying it. And sometimes you would know if that person is really concerned because they say it in a place of love. Okay, and it's not in a place to where you get insulted, because I feel like you can feel it, you know.
Yeah.
You can really feel it, and
Yeah.
sometimes you can sense the motive of people.
Yeah, the bullying.
Yeah.
It's really bullying, and it's
Yeah.
just like sometimes they say it in a way. Maybe part of them does feel like, yeah, I'm saying this so they feel motivated to lose weight. Like I'm helping you
Yeah.
by hating me. But at the same time, that does not justify you calling them names,
Yeah.
bullying them, pointing out their fats,
Mhm.
or pointing at what they eat,
Yeah,
making
yeah.
them feel ashamed that they're hungry.
That's so true, because most of the people here, they always say that, oh, I'm only concerned with that person's health. Yeah, you were concerned with that person's health, but you're not concerned with that person's feeling. So maybe you have cured that other side, because, you know, the person that we know did change.
Yeah.
Okay? But
She
then,
lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, but then she was bruised
Yeah.
emotionally because of that. And still to carry that kind of hurt.
Yeah, like she's going around
hurt
with that
them.
scar thinking like everybody hates me.
Yeah. To some people, they take it as, you know, a really great advice. Like, they would say, actually, thank you for letting me know that I'm, you know, eating unhealthy and I'm, like, gaining this, like, unnecessary weight. And some people take it in a good way. But there's...
If you approach it correctly.
Yeah, if you approach it correctly. But at the same time, there's this whole group of people that when you say it to them, they will get offended, you know? And
Especially the way you say it, how you approach it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Sometimes even if you are that sensitive to their feelings and it's just private, they still
Yeah.
get hurt, which is obviously.
Yeah.
Because it's, you know.
And I feel like sometimes it's not in your position as well to
Yeah,
say it
yes.
to people at all.
Yeah. I mean, like, I can see that you care, but at the same time, you know, there is being rude,
Yeah.
and then there's also, like, just keeping your opinion to yourself. Because you think, oh, I'm telling this person the truth. No, you're just being insulting and rude. Also
Yeah.
mean.
If that person wants to change, then go and support them. But if they don't want to, then don't enforce or insult them for them to change. You know?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, they might not even have that motivation yet.
Yeah.
But what you did just made them feel twice as bad about themselves. It's also worse because you know sometimes it's your body and you can't change your bone structure.
Yeah.
You can't change the way you look to get a different kind of nose or like a chiseled jawline or like, you know, your collarbones.
Yes.
You can't do to some people you can't do that because that their body type just won't allow it. And then that's what makes it even worse because you get that and it feels like you want to. Of course, when you see something you don't like, you want to change it.
Yeah, yeah.
But you can't change it when it's unchangeable.
I'm kind of like, honestly, I'm kind of like sort of scared to kind of like talk about this topic because I know that, you know, regardless of anything else or regardless of what you're saying, there's a whole bunch of people out there who's still gonna take it in a wrong way.
Yeah, even if we come at this from every single angle, there's still gonna be people who are gonna hate on you. So you know what? Good thing I'm with you. I'll help you.
We're in this together.
Yes.
You know, please share this video to spread the message of stop body shaming or stop fat shaming. Inspire them, don't insult them.
Yeah, with love and respect. We're also trying to come at this from a lot of angles so that we cover everything instead of just mainly focusing on one thing and just attacking it from that angle. So, you know, if we missed anything, do let us know and, you know, we can just discuss it some more.
Yeah.
Because this is a conversation we need to have.
Yeah, it should be. Someone has to like voice it out. Because it has become so normal that it's abnormal. So that is it. I hope you guys like this video and we will see you on our next one.
Bye!